I just been feeling a lot of joy lately. I've been kind of connecting with God more. Because this summer, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty tough for me and my family. Just a lot of people passing away that have been close to our family and like support us a lot, and vice versa. So it's just been hard seeing my family grieve and not really being able to be at home because I'm trying to, but it's hard. Like this summer I went home back and forth, like that's probably the most I've been back and forth. Like
home being in Miami,
Naples or whatever, yeah. So, but I mean, doing this basketball stuff, during this time, like I've been really using basketball as kind of like to just escape and use it as a gift, something that brings me joy. And at first it didn't, well, at least before, basketball didn't really bring me joy when I was done playing for it. So I was like, I don't know if I want to do this again, because that's a lot for a person. I applaud every person that plays collegiate sports because you should be proud of yourself. That stuff is hard. I go to practice nowadays and watching, I'm like, I don't know if I could have done that. Honestly, like, I don't think I would have had the mental strength in that time in my life to do that. So
that kind of brings me to my next question. What is your basketball / sports origin story, so to speak? What kind of got you into it?
My siblings, Miami Heat, and D-Wade. Those are the three things that I would say. And I had to separate D-Wade from Miami Heat because he is from Chicago.
That's real.
So, sorry, Chicago, Illinois.
I thought it was Wade County. I thought it was Wade County. I don't know.
It still is. It still is. But Chicago, because it's one, they get the hype. All my siblings play basketball. Like, it didn't matter what level, but we all play. Like, my cousins play. They won't even really have the skills or fundamentals sometimes, but they just like to play games. We like to play games. We like to compete. And basketball is a way where you can get as many people as you can in the family to play 5-on-5. Like, we can do a tournament with my family. We all play. My dad still sometimes be like, bro, you're 75, bro. You probably shouldn't be playing out here with us. Go sit down. So but he still like plays shooting games with us all the time. And that's just something that I can always count on when I play. That's one gift like that my family has given me. I just grew up in it, kind of like my faith. And you can see hand in hand how God works with stuff like that. I started in February of 2020. When I first came up with the idea, I was like, okay, I need a day like that could be the anniversary of 8020 when it blows up, so I can really always have a lot of gratitude from where it started. So my sister and my niece and my nephew's birthdays are in February. So, and they always invite me to celebrate with them. So I feel like it's my birthday too, but obviously not. Like, I'm just happy to be there, happy to spend time with them, and I do this with all my family members, but they're like people I probably need to spend more time with. So it's just a strong connection that we have. So that is how I decided the anniversary of it, because my sister really, she's like my biggest cheerleader, niece. She really is. She's always been there for me. She always sends me a text when she knows when I'm like frustrated in a game, and like even if she didn't come up here, she would text me if she saw it on TV. She'd be like, Steph, I know like you're probably stressed out about this, but you did as good as you can. And I'm like, you know what? Unis, my dog.
What have been some of your initial thoughts on the growth and expansion of 8020, just like since you started in 2020?
At first, I was trying to train like 5 kids just to make sure, like, it's just easy money. Like, I've had a lot of experience playing basketball, so I can teach a lot of kids the things that I know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to teach because you got to get their attention, you got to make sure they're listening, you got to understand the learning styles, but eventually they're going to get it. So, but at first I was like, yeah, 5 is a little too much, maybe like 2. I put this ad out through social media, and there was a Google form on it, and there was about 30 people that registered, just filled out the Google form. I was like, 30 people? That's a big clientele for basketball training in a town like Athens.
Sure.
So I'm like, no way. Like, I don't So me and Jari were roommates at the time, and we're both creative people, so we just bounce ideas off of each other. And it's kind of crazy the stuff that we came up with and how it's like in fruition right now. Like, she said she wanted to do a podcast with athletes, former athletes, and talk about how it's a struggle to be an athlete at the college level and walk with God, and like be proud about that. So they have great podcasts. Like, it just has people that love the game of basketball and love God. Like, and struggle as well. Like, it's hard. It's really hard to be a college athlete. It really is. And it's hard to grow up being a perfectionist or somebody that has a lot of external pressure and internal pressure. Like, it's hard. So, seeing the way that 8020 has grown in like her podcast, like, because there's been some hard days for both of us, and we don't really talk about it much, but it's just like, that person's like doing a lot. They're tired, they're busy, they're juggling 100,000 things. So you would think that would cause like it to stop, the momentum to stop and not go, but it hasn't stopped since it started, and I'm just so grateful for that, because I didn't expect that at all. Like, I kind of did, but I didn't. I didn't expect it to grow this quickly within less than a year. So, yeah.
Not even bringing up a whole pandemic that we're all going through, just trying to figure out how to navigate that, and the interest still being there. For me, I had seen it, and there was never a question of, oh, is this legit? Or, oh, is this just one of those, like, get rich quick? No, like, when I stepped in the room, it was what I had seen my whole childhood, and that is people trying to get better, and coaches, not just coaches, but player empowerment, in the sense that we're going to meet you where you're at, whether you're really skilled or indifferent to the sport, we're going to make you make the most of this experience. But
yes,
I don't want to project. I want to just let you kind of have
That's pretty spot on. Like, whether or not you want to play next level basketball, or you just love basketball, like, you just do it to meet new people, have fun, hang out, like, and just learn a little bit more about the game. So, especially if you want a job in the sports industry too, you gotta know all the athletes from different sports, kind of what goes on, because sometimes people that aren't in the sport don't understand like the process of playing it as a profession or for college scholarship. So, yeah, it's for everybody. There's a space for everybody. Like, if you're a creative person, social media stuff is really like an area you can get better at that. Or journalism, like with Alex, he's really working to be a journalist, like a sports analysis for WNBA. Yes. So this is just an opportunity for him to try new things, learn without really. I can let you speak on it, but I don't really know.
My experience has always been, in everything I go into, learn more, get better, have fun.
Yes.
If you're doing that and you're being hypercritical but not overly critical, that's a hard balance to strike, but with time and everything, you eventually find that, and you can have peace knowing, hey, I did the best I could, and I'm going to try again tomorrow.
Yes, that's another thing I love about 8020 that I didn't even realize was teaching me at the moment. Like, if you make a mistake, if you don't make a mistake and you do well, like, it's not that end of the world. Like, there's this audio in the Instagram Reels, it's of Kobe Bryant talking about being still. And literally, like, if you're so focused on what other people think, or you're so focused on what you think, or you're so focused on how not skilled you are versus how, like, comparison, you're never gonna know, like, what your thing is. So that's kind of what I've been teaching myself.
But yeah, you were talking a little bit about comparison being the thief of joy, if I'm paraphrasing. I look at all of Kobe's stuff, man.
It's so good. I used to be a Kobe hater, I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
I'm a Heat fan, bro. He was always coming for D-Wade. But for like that shooting guard position, exactly. You know how it's like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and D-Wade.
Okay, we're gonna debate. Like, I'm just gonna let you do you. I'm gonna let you do you. He's
for shooting guards.
I'm not gonna.
Top
Comparison
three,
is the
all
thief
time.
of joy. comparisons.
Okay, exactly. This is what I'm trying to lay the foundation.
Do you list LeBron as a 4? I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
LeBron James he's a 4, right? He's a power. He's a 4. He's a small
point forward.
Okay, point forward. I'll take that.
People don't. Anyway.
He is a point forward.
I
So
could
is
do this all
Giannis.
day.
He's a point forward for real. I would say he's a point center because he can do all 5.
Do you remember when the center was trending this year?
So one of my disciplers, Ashley McCord, that's my dog.
No, but
Ashley, my dog, she put me in Team United with all the other people. And at first I did not want to go. I was like, I don't want to be the only black girl in the room. Like, I've done this too many times. It's hard, bro.
Yeah.
And it's a great learning experience, but it takes a toll. When you hear that microaggression for the 15th time in the same day, you're just like,
Yeah. What am I doing here?
exactly. And then you're like, some things people just, like, there's just things they can't relate to because that's like,
You don't know what you don't know.
you don't. And it goes both ways, but when you're in that environment, you're just like, I just laugh because at this point I have no control over that.
Get back on track. To sum up what it means to come back from injury and perseverance, what is your advice to young players at no particular level when contemplating their next steps?
I would say go at the pace your body allows. Because if you're there mentally and you're just like super excited, you're super anxious, you want to get back on the court so bad because you've been sitting out, you've been watching, you're like, man, you're on the bike. I'm tired of being on the bike. I just want to play 5-on-5. There's some drills for me, they're fun because they're competitive, and sometimes like there's incentives that come with it. And for me, like when I went home, we would just play games like 5-on-5 outside my house with my siblings during quarantine. And somebody be like, okay, the team that loses gotta buy the winning team ice cream.
Yeah, stuff like
Do
that.
you know how competitive?
Yeah.
Hey, my family's a family full of sweet tooths. So if you bring up any type of sugar in, like, as a form of incentivization, they're gonna compete. Like, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't have their own wills to want to do things, but at a certain point, when you're having a bad day, when you're stressed out about so many other things, like basketball is not the first thing on your mind. So competing right now, especially if it's something you kind of do for fun, like I love playing Monopoly Deal, but I'm not playing Monopoly Deal all day. I can play about 3 games of Monopoly Deal, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm overworked. I can't think anymore. I need a timeout or something, a media timeout. Like, that's how I see basketball. And when you see it as a gift and a game, that's something that God has given you. Like, why would you take the joy out of it? It's not supposed to make competitiveness fun. Make being competitive fun. And that's like the whole, for me, the way I was able to work through a lot of that losing the joy was through the joy of the game was through my injury. So sometimes God just puts you through, well, he doesn't give us struggles, but sometimes it's like struggles are gonna happen for anybody, everybody. Kids, they might be different, but they're still struggle. And because of that, like, there's just gonna be times where you just can't work that hard. Like, you don't feel like you're in bed, you don't want to run. Like, I love basketball, but I'm tired, I want to go to sleep, you know, type deal. And I've been getting a lot of sleep, but I'm just speaking from the perspective of when I was in college. Because I used to be so tired. Like, I would sit in the front of class, and some of the teachers were so understanding because they know how hard it is for us. And like, when your body tells you it's tired, you have to listen to it. Like, that's God's way of telling us that our mind is connected to our body. Like, you have to listen to your body. So if my body is telling me I cannot run, like, I'm literally trying to, I'm like, all right, Steph, come on, just keep pushing, and your legs are just
Yeah.
like this.
That's, yeah, the little
That's how
hop,
I used to
little
run.
hop.
That's how I used to run playing college basketball.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
What do y'all expect me to do?
Yeah. Pass it.
I'm going fast like this on a fast break. You catch it. Oh, then you fall. Now I look crazy because my body's not in communication with my mind, and it's not a position you want to be in. So going at the pace that your body allows, I think, is a key thing to remember. Like, I know you're excited to get back out on the court, but sometimes you gotta progress. Before you can take one step, you have to take another. So it's one day at a time, one drill at a time, one practice at a time, one summer workout packet at a time. Like, you're just slowly adding all those things. And then now I'm at the point where I don't need a brace. I don't have much swelling in my knee, and I play like 4 hours a day sometimes. And then in addition to that, I'm doing training for 2 hours, so I'm on my legs for a long time. If I did that in college, every day my knee used to look like this.
Yeah.
And when it would go back down to about right here, it was never not swollen. This is like the regular size of my knee. I'm starting to see what it looks like. I forgot what it looked like for a minute. I was like, what? But it takes one day at a time. At first, I was like, I remember the first day after surgery, I had to go to rehab, and they gave me these crutches. And this one I had literally 2 surgeries at the same time, both knees. So it's a little different than a more serious injury on one leg, because you can still use the other leg to balance or hold your weight, stuff like that. Without both my knees and on my crutches, like, I have no strength in my knees because I just had surgery. The medicine is wearing off at this point, the pain meds, and you're just like, I can't. But your body is actually moving still. And my mind is like, I can't do this. I'm walking slow as hell, like, literally my legs shaking, my arms. And I was in my head, I was so mad at Maria White. She was our trainer during the time. And I was like, Maria, like, I hate you right now, because why do I not have a wheelchair? I can't walk.
Yeah.
They're like, yes, you can walk. You're literally walking.
I mean, Taylor said in my graduation, steps forward as long as you walk in grace.
Amen, Maria Taylor. I heard you went to AIA at UGA. You need to come back. Come back.
I mean,
Come
just
talk
let me know.
at a big TU, UGA, Team United. That would be awesome. But anyway, I'm just putting it out there. You
Please
never
do.
know.
Please do.
Why not try?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I got to talk to her a couple times, and it was so cool, because these are the perks of being a college athlete, y'all. You just get to be around professional athletes and people that are at ESPN, where you want to play at.
Yeah.
Like, they make the cool highlight videos. They do all the cool stuff. Like, they bring on celebrities, guests. Like, it's just cool. It's a cool environment to me. And as a kid myself, it's like, that stuff is so exciting to me. It's kind of like Disney World, but in a sports environment.
And they've been in your shoes. Like,
Yes.
they know.
They've been
exactly
through it.
what you've
Yes,
done.
that's what makes it even better. And she played 2 sports, and big ups to you for doing that, because I almost did it, but then
Really, what was the other sport?
track and field. That's a little nugget. I used to do track and field, and I was prepared to do it at the University of Georgia as well. And discus and shot put, I hated shot put, and I'm gonna say that again. I hated shot put with a burning passion. Only reason why I
It's
did
such a
it,
strong word.
bro. You get an 8-pound, rusty, dirty filled metal ball, put it in your neck like this. And you gotta keep it on your neck the whole time, so you can't release it. And it's kind of heavy, so your body's kind of, the weight of the ball is making you dip more. So you're in like this position right here.
Yeah.
This is uncomfortable.
Literally.
But it's only for a split second when you actually throw, but you gotta get to this position, which takes at least 30 seconds. You're like, all right, I gotta put my leg here, lean back a little bit. Does that hurt? Okay, that's good. All right, then just throw it. And you have to jump and like really use your whole body to throw and with your feet. That's how you throw a shot put. You see how tired I am?
Yeah, I was about to say, Steph, you didn't have to demonstrate.
No,
but
I had
appreciate
to
that.
so I can explain why I hate it.
I mean, we can just
It's
use
a
the
lot of work.
voice.
And I'm trying to have fun when I'm playing a game. I'm trying to like, just, I don't know. That one you gotta need some like be able to move my body. That's a lot of power in the legs. I don't want to be that strong. I don't want to be able to pick up that thing right now. And just, I don't want to do that. And
Nobody does. But
I think in shot put, like, you have to, in order to be really good at it, you have to train that much heavy stuff all the time. Discus is a little different, and people do it both ways, like the strength as a skill or the technique, or both, which is really the sweet spot. Because the footwork in discus is very similar to how it is in basketball. Just like the interchange or the twist of your hips and all that stuff.
Yep.
It's basically the step that or similar to a pivot in basketball, but you're doing it really fast.
Yeah.
Like
obliques or whatever.
you start slow, you're like right here, you gotta get in the stance.
Yep.
If you don't get in the stance, you're not gonna get enough power. And you gotta swing that foot around like a pivot.
On sport.
Front pivot, back pivot, reverse pivot, you still gotta pivot off this foot. And boom, boom. I'm giving discus and shot put lessons.
No, that's what I was about to say. So 80-20
No.
shot put lesson coming next.
I will not train discus.
Okay,
That's
fair
one thing
enough.
I'm not. I love throwing the discus and like I want to do a discus competition.
What about the javelin?
We didn't have that in high school in
Okay,
Florida.
okay.
They have it now.
Okay.
But I feel like I would love javelin. You just literally throwing a stick and
Yeah,
seeing how far
that's
it
what I'm
goes.
saying.
Like it's a heavy. But it's kind of like throwing a football. Like
Yeah, I don't know how to throw a football. I play football, but I don't know how to throw one. I played strictly defense, get in my stance, don't put my hand, balls and feet, forward, first step. Yeah, anyway, that's just it. I still have that, but we don't talk about middle linebacker Alex with this good old 5'8". Anyway, we're gonna.
anybody that wants to support 80-20 basketball and that has experience, you know, the difficult mental aspects of sport and what that looks like, having success, not having success, or what you define as success. And I feel like a lot of athletes can relate to that, whether you're just starting or you're at the top of the top, like LeBron James. And I don't know if LeBron gonna hear this, but LeBron, if you wanna come to a camp, run a camp, hit me up. That would be crazy. Or Dwayne Wade, you're not playing anymore. So you might as well come down here. You got some little ties to Athens. That guy was the coach.
Yeah, I don't know.
They came here a couple times. It was pretty cool because we got to meet them. They came to the camp, but like D-Wade, 80-20, we would love to have you. Or Maria Taylor, if you want to do a panel at one of my camps, we do that as well. Or Maverick City, if we want to have a worship night. I'm just throwing stuff out. I'm speaking it into existence.
As you should.
Because I just feel like whatever God puts on my heart to do in the way that we can glorify His name in the best way that I can and use the skills that He's given me to do it, anything is possible.
So last question. What about D-Wade's game did you try to emulate throughout your playing career? And furthermore, who in the WNBA today or historic would you say is the epitome of that?
Okay, so for Dwayne Wade, the one thing I loved about him, I don't know why, this is like the first thing that stands out to me, or like one of my most earliest memories of D-Wade,
Okay.
is him blocking the shot.
You talking about the Kobe shot? No.
No, I don't know. It was a big guy. It was like maybe
okay.
Yao Ming.
Okay. I don't remember it.
I don't know who it was, but it was one of the tallest. That was like at a time where 7-footers weren't really a thing in the NBA.
Yeah.
And there was only like 3 of them. I think he blocked one of their shots. I don't remember who, but.
I'll look into that.
And I was sitting there like as a kid, I'm like, bro, how did he get up there? Like.
Yeah.
So blocking shots, and then after he got the block, he kept it in bounds. Something like that.
I'll look into
It's a little. That's when I was like, when did I start watching Heat? I don't even know.
You have to have been like 6.
Smaller. That's when I could like understand it a little bit. Before that, I was just watching like, yay. But blocking shots, I love blocking people's shots. And I'm not that tall. I don't got that much bounce. I mean, I feel like I kind of do.
You do.
I got some bounce, but I'm not that tall. Like my legs are long, but my torso is kind of short. My arms are long too, which helps. But I don't really have the natural body type to be able to dunk. And being that I'm a girl as well, it doesn't help. Well, it does, but like I'm not going not want to be a girl because I can't dunk. So,
But
what else? So
Yeah.
that part, I love the dunking. That part, I still wish I could do it. And I'm about to start working to train my body how to dunk. So when y'all see me dunk,
no, I'm ready.
I
Because
don't
I'm
know
gonna
what
dunk
is
too.
gonna
I'm
happen.
gonna do it too.
okay, I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I feel like my legs are so strong at this point. But anyway, so blocking shots is one thing that I love doing. I love defense. That was always my number one thing, and that's another thing that I get from doing defensive minded, defensive approach, like no fear on defense. Like it doesn't matter who I'm guarding, I'm gonna find a way to expose your weakness. And some people's weaknesses are just still stronger than your average Joe. For example, Steph Curry. Like
I love that you used him. and I
he's
have to-
I have to use Steph Curry because that's what
He's
people
short.
want to. That's what people want to see. That's what people want to go hate him. People love him. Like he's
Mhm.
Steph Curry. He's in the now, and he is not gonna lose that anytime soon. I don't think. Maybe he ain't. It's gonna be there. So I would say Steph Curry's weakness is was his physicality, but he got better at it this past season. So I
Yeah.
can't hate on that.
Yeah.
But prior to that, it was his physicality. So driving to the rim and finishing was a struggle unless he was getting fouled, which he was really good at getting big two free line
I was about to say,
and shooting like 98%.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, but he's still really good at getting to the basket. So if I'm defending him, obviously I know he's probably gonna get to the basket. He's gonna get me he might get me. I don't know. I don't want to
you don't
find
wanna
out. I
challenge
kind of
him.
do low key because I want to see how good I am on defense.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Because I feel like if I can lower his shooting percentage by like 1% or half of a percent,
That's a win.
that's a very skilled defensive player, okay?
Okay.
And like, yeah, but I would want to see that one day. I don't know though if I really want to. This is where you gotta know your limits.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You gotta humble yourselves. Come on, Steph. He's going to score 50 points on you easily. You might not let him score once out of 10, maybe.
I'm not gonna say I'm a foul, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a foul, but
like,
then at that
it's-
point you're not gonna want to play anymore.
I don't care. He gonna run. Listen, here's the thing about
I'm
Steph.
fouling hard.
I ain't saying all that. But he runs a lot.
He does. That's
A
where he'll
lot.
get
Off
me
the
every
ball.
time.
He's gonna hurt me.
2 possessions, he got it.
Exactly. So I give him credit in that regard. Still a little Rongelus Laker until we leave. If we leave, I don't know. No speculation there. But
Oh, I gotta finish. I want to say, this is my house. I always be like, man, that's so like, he really worked that hard to get himself for people in Miami to love him. Like,
yep.
and it wasn't even about people loving him. It was just like him proving God right, which is, and you don't even have to prove anything to God, which is even crazy. He's just like, bro, you're supposed to be doing this. I gave you this. Like, this is part of your plan. So, like, I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, this is really cool because I don't know what's gonna happen when we're playing overseas, but I know it's coming soon. And I'm just like, all right, God, I'm ready.
What's that?
But taking it day by day, and then for WNBA, current player, I would say,
I've got some, so don't make me speak up on it. You know, I've been watching all the playoffs, so you just let me know. You can phone a friend, so to speak, but I'm not gonna test it.
I watch. Okay, Asia Wilson,
Yeah, 2-time MVP.
and I'm not only picking Asia Wilson because she's probably one of the most popular players, but bro, we used to play against her at Georgia.
Really, I didn't know that.
And I used to be like, I remember my freshman year, I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. And normally going into the games, I'm very confident. Like, just do what you can do. Like, and if we execute the game plan, if we play hard, if we are able to be adaptable and adjust, we'll be fine. But sometimes that doesn't happen. So then you start to doubt yourself every game. Blah, blah, blah. But when you're playing against Asia Wilson during that time of doubt, and she's in her she's just in her bag. Like there's nothing that's gonna stop her from doing what she does. For example, I remember we were playing against him, and our game plan was not to let her go to her left hand. And she's really good at going to the right. Like at that point, you're giving up either her shooting at the free throw line or her scoring every time and getting an and one. Those are your two best options. And I would pick the one with the least amount of points. But you're still getting in the game, in the moment, the person guarding her, you're still getting torched. Like this is the 10th time somebody scored on you. What are you gonna do about that? That's gonna make, for somebody like me that's competitive, that's like losing a possession for the opposing team. So the way she gets back to her left hand every time without fail, the consistency, and now she's expanded her game to all kind of different skill sets. She's the point forward of the WNBA.
I agree.
Very much. And she's got great size. She uses her basketball IQ is ridiculous. She's gonna execute. She knows when she's on and when she needs to give it to her teammates. Like she's like the overall, like if you think of a, what do you call it, complete player?
Yeah.
Like she's got the leadership abilities as well. All that is like, and I like that more in her than like how much I would like say I would like D-Wade. Because for D-Wade it's a little different because one, he's a guy, so there's a disconnect there like that I can't relate to him as much with.
Right.
And like NBA, it's probably completely different than how the WNBA functions. Like those are two different leagues. The basketball is still the same, but it's two different leagues.
Yeah. Comparison's the thief of joy. I keep telling you.
Yeah. So it's basically, but I love them both, like
I'm saying.
tremendously.
I'm saying.
But Dwayne Wade has a special tie to me because it's my family and my home. So that would be the only reason why I would say I like D-Wade better than Asia.
Okay.
But Asia Wilson, like, and as somebody that started playing in the post, I have a lot of appreciation for post players. I really do. And at first I thought I was a post player. I still have post player tendencies that I need to use in certain matchups. But like being a post player is hard. Being a guard is very hard too. And they're both. This is where like people try to compare it. Like it's the same level of difficulty.
Yep.
It's just different moves or different positions or different strengths. Like that's just how it is. But it has nothing to do with level of difficulty or your skill level. Like that's there. If you can do the one move, like I'm sure it would be hard for a point guard to
Or Will Chamberlain.
yes, or Giannis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like imagine being 5'11", going up against 6'7". At that point, the only thing you can do is use your physicality, your speed. But even then, it's only so much you can do. You can make a hard contest, but they're shooting all the way up there, so that contest doesn't matter even at your highest point of your jump. If
Yep.
their highest point of their jump is 10 feet above your head.
Yep.
So at that point, you're like, what can I do?
Try and strip the ball before they go up.
Yeah, you gotta do your work early.
That's it. That's
And
it.
it's the same with the post player guarding the point guard. Like, if I don't really get in the stance right before if I try to do this right before they approach me,
Blocking foul.
my legs will literally go like this if they do a move by me, and I'll be like, help! You don't want to look like that. It's funny, but it's really embarrassing. At the
It's
same
funny
time.
until it's televised.
Yeah, when you
That's
watch
what it
TV
comes
and that
down
happens,
to.
that's when you're like, that's when my heart breaks. Not only for me, but for every other person that it happens to, which is probably everybody gets their ankles broken at least once or twice if they are a really aggressive defender.
Yep.
Like in order to get a high reward, you gotta turn up the risk and really get up there and try to put pressure on that person. And sometimes that means you're gonna get beat.
Well, folks, not to end it on that, but
the times you don't get beat, you can get a steal and a layup. That wins the game.
until we all win.
I appreciate you beyond words.
Thank you, Alex. That
Thank
was
you.
really fun.
It's what I do. It's what I do.